दोस्तों, मैं आपका साथी जेमी ऑल्टर और स्वागत है आपका फिर से क्रिकेट फेबल्स पे। सेकंड टेस्ट इंडिया वर्सेस साउथ अफ्रीका डे 4 रिव्यू। और अगर आप भारतीय क्रिकेट फैन हो, जैसे कि मैं समझता हूं आप सभी हैं जो मेरे साथ इस चैनल पे जुड़े हैं, तो खबर अच्छी नहीं है जोहानिसबर्ग के वॉन्डरर्स ग्राउंड से, जहां पे साउथ अफ्रीका ने हराया इंडिया को बहुत बहुत बड़े मार्जिन से। दिन की शुरुआत में लग रहा था कि शायद आज कोई प्ले नहीं होगा, क्योंकि बारिश इतनी थी कि पहले दो सेशन जो हैं वो वॉश आउट हो गए। लेकिन फिर आसमान खुला, गेम शुरू हुआ और साउथ अफ्रीका का जो टारगेट था, तकरीबन 140 रन जो बाकी थे, वो डीन एल्गर के चलते उन्होंने वो पूरे किए। और अब जो है ये 3 मैच श्रृंखला वो एक एक पे लॉक है। एक टेस्ट मैच बचता है दोस्तों, जो कि बहुत बहुत ही कम समय के अंदर शुरू होने वाला है। पर इस झटके के बाद, और मैं झटका शब्द का इसलिए इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूं क्योंकि बहुत सारे फैंस और मीडिया वाले और पंडित्स, पूर्व खिलाड़ी ने कहा था कि ये भारतीय टीम का सबसे बेस्ट चांस है दक्षिण अफ्रीका में अपनी पहली टेस्ट सीरीज जीतना। और लग रहा था पहले मैच के बाद, जब इंडिया ने अच्छे अच्छे खासे रनों से हराया था साउथ अफ्रीका को, कि ये टेस्ट मैच भी उनके हाथ में है। लेकिन अगर हम घड़ी को थोड़ा रिवाइंड करेंगे, तो इट ऑल केम बैक टू इंडियाज इम्प्लोजन, देयर कोलैप्स व्हेन दे बैटेड। और इस बार दोस्तों 2002 202 रन, सॉरी माफी चाहूंगा, 2002 रन जो 202 रन जो बनाए भारतीय टीम ने अपनी पहली पारी में, कहीं ना कहीं अगर हम वापस मुड़ के देखेंगे तो इस लॉस का कारण बहुत ज्यादा भारी है उस पारी पे। बट फुल क्रेडिट टू साउथ अफ्रीका। डीन एल्गर ने बिल्कुल एक, वो कहते हैं, कप्तान वाली पारी खेली। रासी वैनडूसन ने भी अच्छे रन बनाए थे। बट जो मुझे लग रहा था कल, और मैंने कहा था इसी चैनल पे, इसी मंच पे, कि आई थिंक इंडिया के पास वो रन है, बट इन द एंड इट ऑल केम वेरी वेरी शॉर्ट फॉर इंडिया। और कुछ 34 ओवर्स वर लेफ्ट इन द डे, और साउथ अफ्रीका ने बड़े आराम से अपना टारगेट जो है वो खत्म किया है। द सीरीज इज नाउ लॉक्ड एट 1-1 विथ वन मैच टू प्ले। यहाँ पे कमेंट भी आया है आकाश का के मूड खराब। हाँ, होता है, मूड खराब हो जाता है। मैं थोड़ा डिटैच रहने की कोशिश करता हूँ जितना भी मैं न्यूट्रल रहता हूँ, बट ऑफ कोर्स इट्स इजियर सेड देन डन। Very, very tough when you've been watching Indian cricket for so long. But overall, yes. तो कहाँ गया ये मैच खराब भारत की टीम के लिए? एक तो ऑफ कोर्स जब विराट कोहली नहीं थे, और मैंने कहा था इसी शो पे कि आई डोंट थिंक इंडिया विल मिस विराट कोहली द बैट्समैन एज मच एज दे विल मिस विराट कोहली द मोटिवेटर एंड द कैप्टन। और कहीं ना कहीं यस, यू कैन नॉट बी टू हार्श ऑन केएल राहुल, क्योंकि हम सब जानते हैं, जैसे कि मैंने कल भी कहा था इस शो पे, बल्कि मैंने 2 बार कहा था, कि राहुल के पास इतना तजुर्बा नहीं है, इतना अनुभव नहीं है कप्तानी का। मैं किंग्स 11 पंजाब या पंजाब किंग्स आईपीएल खेलते हैं, मैं उसके बारे में बात नहीं कर रहा हूं। मैं बात कर रहा हूं फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट में, डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट में केएल राहुल ने कप्तानी नहीं करी है। शायद 2 ही मैच में, अगर मेरे फैक्ट सही हैं, उन्होंने इंडिया ए की कप्तानी करी है। सो इट शोज कि डिस्पाइट द ह्यूज प्रोग्रेस ही इज मेड एज अ बैट्समैन and the leap of faith that the Indian team management has in him by appointing him vice captain, I think he's just too inexperienced as a leader. Again, I'm not putting blame on him for this match, but एक दो चीजें हैं जो मुझे awkward लगे। एक तो साउथ अफ्रीका की पहली पारी में शार्दुल ठाकुर को इतने समय बाद ले आना, और आज also a couple field placings were wanting, not enough attacking fields. But हमें इस बात का वी कैन नॉट इग्नोर दिस फैक्ट कि खासकर मोहम्मद सिराज, जो कि फुली फिट नहीं थे, मानता हूं मैं, मोहम्मद सिराज और जसप्रीत बुमराह कहीं भी अपने टॉप गियर पे नहीं दिखे इस पूरे टेस्ट मैच में। द विकेट्स लार्जली केम टू शार्दुल ठाकुर, जिन्होंने साउथ अफ्रीका की पहली पारी में 7 विकेट लिए, और दूसरे में एक, और फिर मोहम्मद शामी। लेकिन मोहम्मद शामी कितना करेंगे? इट्स वेरी वेरी अनरीजनेबल टू एक्सपेक्ट हिम टू रन थ्रू टीम्स। He did get the wicket of Rassi Van Dusen आज के दिन। लेकिन शुरुआत में, like I said yesterday, अगर आपके पास रन कम है, अगर आपको शातिर गेंदबाजी करनी है, तो आपको बॉल डालनी पड़ेगी टिप्पे पे, फाइंड दैट क्रैक एंड बॉल देयर। अनफॉर्चुनेटली मोहम्मद शामी एंड शार्दुल ठाकुर एंड बुमराह डिड नॉट हिट द राइट लेंथ, एंड बाय राइट लेंथ आई मीन, उन्होंने जब शॉर्ट डालने की कोशिश की, तो या तो बॉल कीपर के ऊपर से गया, और मैंने कल भी कहा था, अगर आप शॉर्ट, जितनी आप शॉर्ट बॉल डालेंगे, हाँ, एक दो दो तीन शायद बैट्समैन को थोड़ा हिला देंगे, मेक देम प्ले हाई, यू माइट हिट द ग्लव, यू माइट हिट द बैट हैंडल वंस, but the more you bowl short, the chances are you'll let the batsman duck under or leave. और जितना समय बैट्समैन चाहे वो सेट हो या ना सेट हो, जितना समय वो क्रीज पे टिक जाता है उतनी ही उनको कॉन्फिडेंस मिलता है. So this is why I was a little wary of the short ball tactics. We saw it, Shami bowled too short. Elgar was allowed to leave. He played his shots. One went over Rishabh Pant's head for 4 free runs. And overall, it was not the best bowling. Shuruaat mein Bumrah or Shami or Shardul, they bowled too straight. Too many balls were on the body. They didn't hit the cracks. And it became, I know it's not easy. मैं easy शब्द का इस्तेमाल नहीं करूंगा because batting was tough. But kahin na kahin, the bowling, the straighter lines of the bowlers allowed Elgar in particular and Van der Dusen to overcome the pressure balls by working the ball off the stumps for ones, twos, and boundaries as it turned out. So, a very flat day, मैं कहूँगा भारतीय team से. They missed a fit Siraj. They missed a Bumrah in top gear. Shami tried very, very well, barring 2 very average overs. Shardul Thakur बेचारा कितना ही करेंगे, 7 विकेट तो उन्होंने लिया था. He'll probably be bitterly disappointed with the fact that he could not make an impact on the second innings. But yeah, overall, it was just nothing to write home about. मैं फिर से कहूंगा कि कल जो मैंने कहा था, मुझे उम्मीद था, मुझे बिलीव थी कि ये टीम जो है आज के दिन they will bowl South Africa out. But वो जो 2 सेशन वेस्ट गए बारिश के चक्कर, I think bowling with the wet ball became very, very hard for India. I thought they'd take more wickets, 4 or 5 wickets. नहीं मिले. एक ही विकेट मिला. फुल क्रेडिट टू डीन एल्गार, जो मेरे हिसाब से बहुत ही एक अंडररेटेड टेस्ट प्लेयर है. वो लगते हैं कि वो कभी भी आउट हो जाएंगे, लेकिन जितना ही समय वो क्रीज पे बिताते हैं, एल्गार गेट्स स्टक टू द क्रीज एंड दैट्स वेयर हिज ट्रू ग्रिट कम्स आउट. एंड Rassie van der Dusen, he didn't get a big innings, but a very, very crucial partnership that he put on with Dean Elgar. और उसके बाद टेम्बा बबूमा, जो कि इस टीम के फॉर्म बैट्समैन है इस लो स्कोरिंग सीरीज में, उन्होंने आके एल्गर का साथ दिया और एल्गर ने मैच खत्म किया. तो यस, डिसअपॉइंटिंग डे, पर अगर हम सीरीज के लिहाज से देखेंगे तो लॉक्ड है सीरीज 1-1 पे. और अब जो तीसरा मैच होगा, इट्स अ मस्ट विन फॉर बोथ टीम्स. अभी भी दोस्तों इतना आसान नहीं लग रहा है जैसे कि हम कह रहे थे पहले कि दिस इज इंडियाज बेस्ट चांस. हमने कहीं ना कहीं साउथ अफ्रीका को अंडर एस्टिमेट किया. यस, उनकी बैटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स थोड़े गिर चुके हैं क्योंकि कुछ प्लेयर्स रिटायर हो चुके हैं, कुछ प्लेयर्स ड्रॉप हो चुके हैं. द बैटिंग वाज एक्सपोज इन द फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच एट सेंचुरियन. पर यहाँ पे जो कमबैक इस टीम ने किया है, खासकर बल्लेबाजों ने और तेज गेंदबाजों ने. We saw Dwayne Oliver coming back after three odd years in Test cricket. Didn't have that pace, had a bit of a blonde streak in his hair, but he got big wickets. Marco Jansen, left arm seamer, इतने तेज नहीं, लेकिन उनका जो एक हार्ड लेंथ है वो बहुत बहुत खास रहा South Africa के लिए. And then we saw Rabada bowl a spell which is a throwback to about 5 years when he was quicker and younger and more aggressive. But great for South Africa that they found such performances from their fast bowlers. लुंगी नगीर जिन्होंने इतनी अच्छी bowling करी पहले मैच में, वो थोड़े off थे यहाँ पे. But overall a much improved performance from South Africa in the bowling and batting. और वही बात है जो इंडिया ने पहली इनिंग्स में collapse करी 202 पे, और फिर जो तीसरे दिन पे जब पुजारा अर्धशतक बना के वो आउट हुए थे. अगेन, दिस इज गोइंग टू साउंड रियली क्रिटिकल कि जब पूरे टीम में सिर्फ दो मिडिल ऑर्डर बैट्समैन 50 मारते, but I think they can be found guilty of not converting those innings into something big. हमने चर्चा भी किया था कल और परसों कि कैन दे गेट बिग 50s. मैंने कहा नहीं, बात यहाँ पे बिग 50s की नहीं है. इन दोनों को चाहिए शतक, बड़े शतक नहीं बट शतक, ताकि उससे इंडिया का लीड और बढ़ पाए. वो जो स्पेल था रबाड़ा का, जहां पे रहाणे पुजारा गिरे, और उसके बाद जब ऋषभ पंत ने वो बहुत ही गंदा वाहियात शॉट खेला तीसरी गेंद पे आउट होने के लिए फॉर अ डक, दैट्स वेयर द कोलैप्स अगेन टिल्टेड. और हाइंडसाइट में वहां पे दोस्तों साउथ अफ्रीका ने बहुत बहुत बड़े कदम उठाए इस मैच में. So yes, a few sore points for India. अगर हम आगे देखें दोस्तों तीसरे टेस्ट मैच में जो कि कुछ ही दिन में शुरू होने वाला है, सबसे बड़ी समस्या ये है कि चलिए सिराज लुक्स अनफिट. इफ सिराज कैन नॉट बी पास फिट, आई थिंक ही विल, बट अगर स्मॉल चांस के सिराज जो हैं वो फिट नहीं होते हैं, then who comes in? मेरे हिसाब से I would resist the temptation to play Ishant Sharma with his 300 plus wickets. I would go for Umesh Yadav. थोड़े यंगर हैं, थोड़े तेज हैं, उनमें एक अग्रेशन है जो आई थिंक इस टीम को अभी सख्त जरूरत है उसकी. आई वुड नॉट प्ले ईशांत शर्मा. आई वुड गो फॉर उमेश यादव। इसके बाद दोस्तों ये विराट कोहली का 99th टेस्ट मैच होने वाला है, द थर्ड टेस्ट मैच। This was supposed to be his 99th. The next match was supposed to be his 100th, but he was not fit. He had a back spasm. So this match will be his 99th test, and Virat Kohli will come back. अब विराट कोहली की जगह golden duck caught fending fending a ball. Akash saying, is Kohli fit to play next match? Yes, as far as I know, he is fit. He has a few more days. The India's got an extra day because this match got done inside 4 days. So I am 100% sure that Virat Kohli will play this match. And even if Virat Kohli is 80% fit, you know a man like him, the burning desire to make an impact, and more than that, to take India to series victory will ensure that Virat Kohli will play. So Virat Kohli comes back. Who goes out? Like I said, you have Rahane, who came into this match under immense pressure, immense scrutiny. The man averaged 19.57 doston, in 2021 from 21 test innings. He was dropped for the recent second test against New Zealand at the Wankhede. He was stripped of the vice captaincy. But then, because Rohit Sharma got injured and Shubman Gill was not there, India had to divide the batsmen, and I think that's why Rahane was picked for the first match, which India won. He got a 40 odd in the second innings. But in this second test match, जो out हुए वो golden duck पे, उसके बाद the knives were out. Everyone was saying यार इनकी ये आखिरी मैच है, आखिरी पारी. He then got a very, very good 50. So, do you go for the guy who got a 50, or do you go for the replacement player Hanuma Vihari, जो मैं दोबारा इस बात को अंडरलाइन करना चाहता हूं यहाँ पे दोस्तों, हनुमा विहारी को न्यूजीलैंड सीरीज में नहीं खिलाया गया था बिकॉज दे नो यार ये बंदा वैसे भी घर पे नहीं खेलता है. वी सी मोर वैल्यू इन बिहारी प्लेइंग घर के बाहर, यानी कि दक्षिण अफ्रीका में. Let's send him with the A team. Hanuma Vihari has spent 6, 7, 8 weeks, almost 2 months now in South Africa with the A team. He got a lot of good runs, good gritty runs, flashy runs against South Africa A in that 3-match red ball series. He got a good innings of 40 not out in the second innings, where he ended up dragging the total to something above 200, the target to 240. So do you drop someone who's batted very well for 40, or someone who's a senior player, a better player, a more experienced player, but who's not had a very good year, but who got a 15th innings? A very, very tough call for Rahul Dravid, Virat Kohli, the batting team, the whole team management. I would like to see it go to Vihari just because he's always been the guy who's under pressure. He's always told, yeah, this guy is not cut out. He's going to shuffle up and down. And the fact that he did whatever was required from him in the recent South Africa A series by scoring runs, I would like to see him. But again, it's going to be very, very hard to see who goes out. Nakul Saini सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, Indian bowlers did not use the very bounce properly. Too many half trackers going. Absolutely. मैंने यही कहा था इस शो की शुरुआत पे कि I said yesterday कि the key here is not bowling short. The danger, अगर आप ज्यादा short ball डालोगे, the danger is getting carried away, having balls go over punt, which we saw happen today a couple times for 4 runs. When you bowl short, आपको बिल्कुल सटीक जगह पे बॉल को लैंड करना है, क्रैक पे, make the batsman play. हमने कल शाम को ऐसे बहुत गेंद देखने को मिले जहां पे एल्गर की यहां लगी वहां लगी. आज वो नहीं दिखा. आज Shami in particular was too wayward in that first spell. Yes, he got a wicket, but too many balls. The batsmen were allowed to leave, were allowed to sail over the keeper's head, allowed to slap. So yes, India will be the first to admit. I hope they admit. I hope Paras Mamre has a word with the pace quarter and say, भाई लोग, आपने आज काफी एवरेज बॉलिंग करी है लाइन और लेंथ के हिसाब से, and this allowed Elgar and Rassie van der Dusen to take the game away from India. So yes, overall it's been a very flat day. आपके पास रन वैसे ही कम थे, but I thought it was enough to make a match out of it. Unfortunately, it did not happen for India, taking nothing away from Elgar and Van der Dusen. आपको टिकना पड़ता है क्रीज पे, और इन दोनों ने किया, खासकर एल्गर ने. But India were a bit weak in the bowling. But Ama, why not leg spinners given their due in test matches? We see premier white ball leg spinners like Sodi, Rashid not making it to their respective test sides. Good question, Parth. I don't know exactly what the answer is. अगर हम आदिल रशीद की बात करें तो आदिल Rashid himself said, I don't want to play test cricket. I don't want to play red ball cricket. This was about 4 years ago. But then the England management, they begged him, please come back. He came to India, bowled decently, nothing great. No, for me, this answer is simple. When he does not want to play, when he sees more value in playing white ball cricket across the leagues, then really there's not much you can do. A player has to want to play. So as far as Adil Rashid is concerned, I think there's no point talking about him because the man himself had turned down a red ball contract with Yorkshire. वो अलग बात है. Ishori, to be frank, has been rather inconsistent with his performances, and I think they sort of lost faith in him. Who are the other leg spinners going around? Yasir Shah is still around. Pakistan often gets some leg spinners. We've seen Sri Lanka have a couple wrist spinners. India had Kuldeep Yadav, who somehow under Virat Kohli's captaincy and Shastri's management, they didn't know what to do with him. I think that's a classic case of a very good talented wrist spinner not getting the right treatment. They lost confidence. Yes, Chahal, but Chahal himself does not play enough first class red ball cricket in domestic cricket. He is largely seen as a white ball player. I think he's the Amit Mishra case, perhaps a bit too slow through the air. So when the system is not producing enough viable options, अभी देखिए जो भी आ रहा है option, राहुल चहर हो, Ravi Bishnoi ho, these guys are primarily making their name playing white ball cricket. Can they be faulted? I don't think so. If the opportunities you're getting are largely white ball, or to play devil's advocate, you are choosing to skip a lot of the red ball tournaments, then it's very hard for you to judge. There are just not enough wrist spinners in India. Let's talk about India for now because this is where we are and we're talking about the series from an Indian perspective. When there are not enough quality leg spinners coming through, how can you be expected to pick one? I frankly don't think Chahal is a test bowler because we've not seen him do that much in first class cricket. So yes, it's a failing of the system to provide the Indian team such bowlers. But when you have Ashwin and Jadeja doing so well for a long time, Akshay Patel did very well in his few matches. It's hard to see wrist spinners even getting a game. I think Kohli's aggression is missing today. He won 25 out of 27 matches when set 150 plus target in fourth innings. Good point. I think Virat Kohli has a lot to do on the field. That aggressiveness, which also opened them up for criticism, I think that was missing. Perhaps just the experience, more than any aggression or in your face or hua or even his MCBC. To be very frank about it, I think it's just the experience he has of knowing what to do in such situations, closing out matches, taking them to the end, winning them. That was lacking. I think KL Rahul just looked a bit lost, almost looked resigned to the fact यार हमारे पास इतने रन नहीं है और जब एल्गर और वैन इतनी अच्छी तरीके से खेल रहे हैं मैं क्या करूं. And that just underlines my theory that when you don't have experience captaining teams at the state level, you're bound to be found out when it comes to international cricket, especially Test cricket. So yes, Kohli's aggression, but his experience more than anything was missed. Left-handed batter in top order. It'd be good, but if there's nobody putting their hand up, there's no point fretting about that. It's look, it doesn't make a huge difference. The good batsmen will score runs, whether they're righties or lefties. So I don't think आप कह सकते हो कि यार आजकल कोई लेफ्टी है जो हाथ ऊपर करके बोल रहा है कि मेरे को select करो. If someone is there, by all means, but I don't think it makes a huge difference, frankly, whether you're a lefty or a righty. Jack Walker is back. Does Pant need to change his approach? Absolutely. And like I said yesterday on this same topic, I hope Dravid, Kohli, Vikram Rathod, the batting coach, I hope they took aside Pant and said, boss, we understand that you have this maverick way, this X factor way. इसी X factor, इसी maverick पंथी के बल पे हमने आपको एक मौका दिया खेलने का. आपने हमें काफी मैचेस जिताए. आपने एक मैच हमारे लिए ड्रॉ भी किया इस कैवलियर अप्रोच से. But this cavalier approach will not work every innings. It might work every fourth innings. And I understand, like I said, I'll be the first to admit, I firmly believe that Rishabh Pant will win you more matches. But when you look back at the pretty much the year he's had overseas, barring the Australia tour, he's averaging what? 18 or 19, and bowlers have now figured out कि इसको around the stumps डालो, इसको cramp करो, ये बंदा खुद wicket दे देगा. So yes, Pant will have to dig deeper than he dug himself in Australia when he worked so hard at the nets to come back and carve out those two fantastic innings of 97 and 89 not out. But this is not going to happen every time. जितना भी आप खेलते हो, टेक्नोलॉजी इतना है आजकल टीम्स के पास कि they will figure you out very soon. And frankly, it looks to me right now that Pant has been found out by teams across the globe because he has not had a very good last 11 months in Test cricket. So he will have to change his approach. The management, the captain can talk to him, but the change has to come from within Pant himself. But what's your take on Washington Sundar? Handy off spinner who's a genuine batsman, offers much more value than Pant, in my opinion. Again, this is also a debatable one. I think Sundar is basically a batsman who can bowl a few overs. But when you have Ashwin, Jadeja, and Akshar Patel, clearly he's the fourth spinning option. So he's not going to get into the team part as a spinner. He hardly bowls that much. He will get into the team more as a batsman. Now, दैट डिपेंड्स कि आप कहाँ पे खेल रहे हो. अगर आप घर पे खेल रहे हो तो ये फिर भी नंबर 4 पे आएगा. I don't know whether you can compare him with Pant because Pant is still a keeper. Riddhiman Shah is 36, 37. How long are you going to expect him to play? Yes, he's a far, far better keeper than Pant. मेरे हिसाब से ये पूरे टेस्ट गेम में पूरे विश्व में ये सबसे स्मूथ कीपर है. But he's not going to get too many more opportunities even if he's fit and scoring runs. Just because in India, even in the whole game, जब आप कीपर हो और आप 36 को पार करते हो तो कहीं ना कहीं बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है आपको टेस्ट टीम में जगह निकालने की. But the more Pant keeps scaling with the bat, it'll be very, very hard to defend him. I think Pant's keeping has really improved. He's really worked on his keeping. He was always good against pace, but he's really improved against the spinners. So I don't know whether the Pant versus Sundar comparison is the right one. But I liked what I saw of Washington Sundar. We saw him do very well, of course, on debut at the Gabba. He got big wickets and that pirouetted six off Pat Cummins on the final day. We saw him get an 80, 90 odd at home against England. But frankly, are you going to play him as a batsman? I don't think so. I think you have better options. He comes in more for a horses for courses situation जहाँ पे आपको 4 स्पिनर की जरूरत है और आपको frankly 4 स्पिनर्स की जरूरत कहाँ पड़ती है. If India is playing at home on ranked turners, you're going to always want Ashwin, Jadeja, and Akshar to play. But yes, Washington has age on his side, and he might become a key player in the next couple of years. That's my assessment of this part. If you don't have more questions, then I guess I can wrap up this live stream. We have the third test match starting in a few days. It's now 1-1, dosto, 1-1. We do. Akash is back. Feel sad for Lord Shardul ending on the losing side. Brilliant performance. Absolutely. He got 7 for 61. A fantastic bowling performance from him. Then he got that crucial 28, I think 28? 28, which injected some vital runs. And this match is Shardul Thakur's sixth match. And this ends his streak of being unbeaten. Ends his streak of India being unbeaten. ये शार्दुल ठाकुर की पहली हार है. I thought he'd have a bigger say on the final day. He didn't, but taking nothing away from how brilliant he was. And I think he's 30. He knows his game. He bowls a hard ball, a hard length. That is the ball that surprises batsmen. The guy can bat. He got 250s in a test match in England recently, apart from 5 wickets. He's a very, very handy utility player, and I hope the Indian team persists with Shardul and gives them a lot more opportunities on the road, especially, but also at home. Yeah, so hard for him to not walk away with a win. And if India had won, I have no doubt that Shardul would have been the man of the match. Jax Walker, Siraj didn't look comfortable. Yes, he had a hamstring injury. Yes, I said this, Jax Walker, इस शो के शुरुआत पे कि if looking ahead to the third test, if there are any changes, to my mind, it would be one fast bowler coming in for Siraj if he's not recovered in time, and that for me, by all accounts, should be Umesh Yadav, not Ishant Sharma. And the other change would, of course, be no, not Pant yet. I think it would be whoever comes in for Kohli, whoever goes out for Kohli. It would be one of Rahane or Bihari. And I think, despite his good 50, I would see Rahane go out, and I would keep faith in Hanuma Bihari. So these would be my two changes for the third Test match, in case Siraj is, of course, injured. तो हाँ दोस्तों, ये था आज का एनालिसिस. नॉट अ लॉट ऑफ पॉजिटिव थिंग्स टू टॉक अबाउट इंडियन टीम के बारे में on this day, of course. A lot of positives before. Pujara getting runs and Rahane getting runs and Rihari getting runs, and of course Shami continuing his good form, and of course Shardul Thakur getting 7 wickets in 1 innings. Thank you, Parth. Thank you for your being here. Do come back and join us whenever I go live. अभी तो 2-3 दिन का break है, because tomorrow there is no day 5. The match is over. But thank you for all your support, guys. Please like the channel. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. It's very, very important for us to get your feedback and the more likes and shares we get, Meha and I, the more confident we get, and the better we just feel about what we're doing. बाकी आप इस चैनल के साथ जुड़े रहिए. हम जरूर आपके साथ लाइव होंगे बहुत ही जल्द, कुछ ही दिन के अंदर, because we have a very very cracking third test lined up. Thank you, Akash. Good night to you as well. दोस्तों शुक्रिया दिल से आप हमारे साथ जुड़े फिर से. Love you all. Stay safe in these times, and I will see you very very soon back on Cricket Fables with Jamie and Mia. Goodbye for now.